So welcome to another edition of our Mastermind Seminar Series. This brief video will give you a lot more information about our upcoming Real Estate Tech Conference in 2013. And now more than ever before, with as much competition as we have in the marketplace, it is not just important, it's essential for anybody that wants to not just thrive but survive in this business, and thrive actually. So that said, I know what I know, and I also know what I don't know. So I brought in the help of a couple of real live experts, and joining me on the call is Dan Wood and Ado Topuz. Welcome to the call, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Simon.
Now, we're used to doing these webinars individually on our own, and we're testing out a new platform. So you're our guinea pigs, guys, and what we're going to do is we're each going to give you a sneak peek as to the education that we're going to provide at the Real Estate Tech Conference coming up on July 18th. And first up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give control to Dan Wood. So he'll share with us sort of a sneak peek as to what he's going to be talking about. So I'm no longer the presenter, and Dan Wood is. And Dan, you got the comm.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so during my session at our seminar, I'm going to be covering a few things. I'm going to touch on leveraging social media like Facebook, and then I'm also going to go into using video, and not in the traditional sense that most realtors picture. So when I do the Facebook, I'm going to give the realtors the idea of this is what you can do to generate business, and then I'm going to show them how to set it up and the step-by-step behind doing that. So as an example, if you can see my screen, you can see it, correct?
Yeah, friends, house values, yeah.
Perfect. So this is an ad that I created. I targeted only my friends on Facebook, so not everybody in the world. So it was only targeting 197 people. Those 197 people saw my ad 16 times each on average. So that's over 3,000 reminders of who we are and what we do. And the total cost for that was $9.04. And so I don't know any other advertising you can do where you can brand to your sphere who you are and what you do, constantly reminding them what you're up to at that cost.
So is this sort of like either replacing or supporting what traditionally, most realtors know that they should be doing a newsletter campaign to their warm market, to their friends and clients. So this is sort of supporting or replacing that, correct?
I would say both. I replaced mine. I don't do the direct mail. I just do full-on Facebook. But if you do a monthly newsletter, I wouldn't say take away from that. But this would definitely support it because in traditional real estate, they would say if you have a database of 150 people, you would do a monthly newsletter. Well, you'd be lucky if 130 of them opened it up. So that would be 130 impressions. With this model, I got over 3,000 impressions, and it only cost $9. And we got a listing appointment out of that too. And the girl said it came from Facebook.
Oh, so, wonderful. And this was somebody that didn't know, you didn't already know.
Yep, no, I targeted friends and family. So she was a past client, and that's where she came from. But she told me she came from the Facebook ad.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah,
what that does is kind of targets all of your friends and then their friends when you're actually doing this kind of campaign.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm going to be sharing with the realtors exactly how we do that. So here's an example of me logging in and creating an ad on Facebook, and I'm going to scroll down to the bottom here. And it shows over on the right that when you set up an ad in Facebook, you'll be targeting millions of people. Well, you can actually limit it. So let's just get a little creative. I'm going to say, who are the people in Toronto? And then you're going to see these numbers change. So now there's 2 million people in Toronto. And then I can say, well, who are the people that are, for example, engaged? So I'll select the people that are coming up and being engaged. And that number changes to 22,000. So that's a targeted group of people in your city who are coming up and probably going to be buying a home within the next 12 months. So when other people speak on social media, they give you the impression that you have to spend hours a day creating content and always updating your Facebook page. Well, with this type of advertising, you set it and you forget it, because when these people change from being engaged to being married, they'll no longer see the ad, and then the next crop of people who become engaged are going to be seeing your ad. So you can get real creative. You can say, forget the people who are engaged. What about the people that are expecting a baby? So right here, expecting parents, there's 400 expecting parents. So you can target them with a first-time home buyer message, right? People raise their hand on Facebook and say that they're an investor. So you can target your investing club or your power of sale tour or whatever you do. You can target it based on Facebook. People say who they are, where they live, their age, everything they like. That advertising that we see, no matter where a person is generated from the profile page.
So you're really speaking to a very specific target audience, and this is one of those things where, you know, when somebody like Dan, who knows it so well, does it, it goes, wow, it looks so easy, and it is easy once you know it, but you just gotta understand it and understand some of the basic things that you need to do. Then you can play around with it. But it's as easy as it looks, no?
Yeah, no, it totally is easy. Adam is going to be expressing how to target people with paid search on Google, and that's somebody who raises their hand and says, this is what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
With Facebook, it's not that targeted. It's more of a demographic where people are raising their hand and saying, this is my flavor, this is what I want to hear about, and this is the direction I'm going in life.
Mm-hmm.
And then you capture the ad that relates to them. So another oddball example would be maybe you get a listing and it's a horse farm. Okay, so say you have a horse farm coming up. If you just type in the word horse, it's going to give you all the different options of horse breeding, horse trainer, horse whatever, and you start adding all those keywords. It's going to pull that keyword off of everybody who's in Toronto, and let's say over the age of 30, that are into that sort of thing, and now you can target your new horse listing, like a horse farm listing, just to those people. Now, I totally threw out an oddball horse farm one just to show you the creative side of it. You can target anybody that you have based on your type of property, and then the people who would be most likely to want to see that, right?
Awesome.
So, yeah, I'm going to be showing the people that with Facebook, and then within the same period of time, I'm going to be talking about video as well. So video is changing the face of real estate, and a lot of realtors picture that they have to go out and get an HD video camera. Well, you can actually record anything you're looking at on your computer screen. So this little tool that I'm going to be sharing with everybody is called Snagit. And anybody can use that. And by doing this, I can record my computer screen. So I'm going to select just this part of the computer screen. And now it's making a movie when I hit the record button. So picture what you can do by recording the computer screen. You can record your listing presentation and make a movie of that. You can record your buyer presentation and make a movie of that. You can make videos of when a realtor gets an offer and it's in sign back, and you have to explain that to your people and you have to tell them what the changes mean. Sometimes you have clients and one of them's working nights. So you explain to the spouse, okay, we need you to, this is what the changes mean for you guys. And then the spouse gets home later that night and the other person tells them what all this means. Well, if you make a video, you just pull up the PDF that you got in your email, record your computer screen and explain to them this is what these changes mean and you're going to have to do this and this and this. And then you send them the email with the attachment and the video. So let me close this and show an example of how a realtor would use video. Seller feedback is one of the hardest things for us to get as an industry. So what a realtor could do is just go to their company website and make a recording. So I'm going to make a quick little recording of how I would give seller feedback. So I'm going to record a picture of the map, so I'm only capturing this part of the screen. I want to hit record. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, it's Danny here. I just want to give you an update on your listing. Here's your home for sale right here. Now, 3 days ago, these guys just got put on the market, and they're $10,000 less than you. Plus, they have a finished basement, and that's real competition, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. Now, you're already aware that this home across the street was already listed for sale. Well, now it's showing that it's sold conditional. So what that means is another buyer chose that property over your property, and we feel it's because of the positioning of the market. I'm going to send you this video and then follow up with a phone call. So when I stop that video, here's the video right here. All I have to do is hit the screencast button, and it uploads it onto the internet, and now they have seller feedback. So what I'm doing is I'm making a video, and the video is doing all the heavy work. It's doing the positioning in the mind of what's happening in the marketplace. It's telling them the bad news that, hey, we're overpriced. When they get the email, this is the video that they get. So you saw how quick it was for me to make the video and then email it off. If I hit play, it's going to play just the part of the screen that I recorded. So I'm not going to show the whole video because you just saw me do it,
Yeah.
but within 20 seconds I made seller feedback that even your admin could do, and then email it off, and it helps you out with having the conversation when it comes time to get a price reduction.
Just think about, I mean, it's brilliant because if you just think about it, when was the last time somebody sent you a video email? And I think for most of the world, it's never. So if you're the first person to start doing this stuff, you're not just saying you're an expert, you're demonstrating that you're not just an expert, but you're also a tech expert. And even techies will appreciate this, that, wow, he's got Snagit or he's got some other tool. In fact, right now, we're recording this webinar, and we're using a similar tool, and this is how we're able to share our conversation and screen capture. And it's a brilliant tool that if you want to stand out is obviously another one. Have we got 2 more minutes for you to give us a sneak peek, or are you done? Should I give the mic over to Ado now?
I'll just give one more example of how they would use video. So when you're teaching somebody, your assistant, admin, buyer agent, anybody, normally you take them to your computer and show them, okay, this is how we load a listing, or this is how we follow up with our internet leads. Well, while you're showing them, you can make a recording, and now you have a step-by-step training tutorial just for your staff. And it's going to make your job a lot easier because it frees up your time as a leader, and it gives them the self-empowerment to get the answer on their own. One last example before I hand it over is YouTube videos. So if somebody does a search in your farm area, so somebody searches Coldstream Drive in Oshawa, Ontario, well, you want your website to come up on the first page. So here's my website down here, or I should say up here, but down at the bottom is a free YouTube video. So by getting your YouTube videos online, you're going to have free internet traffic coming to you. So you can see how easy it is. Just go to Google and make a recording of that street and say, hi, are you looking for houses, homes, and real estate for sale in the Coldstream Drive area of Oshawa, Ontario? Well, you found it. Just click the link below for that, plus the house values. And in that short 20-second segment, I just said all the main keywords that the people are searching. So if they go to Google and type in Coldstream Drive, real estate for sale, listing, home for sale, there's a really high chance that our videos are going to come up. So when they join us, I want to
transcribe the actual words you use in the video to text for the AdWords. Is that how it works?
Yeah, so in the video you would put the keywords, the main ones that you want to be found for, but then to make sure that that's right, Google actually does listen to what's being said. It converts it from speech to text, and then it reads the text for the keywords.
So it's pretty cool stuff. So if you're working a farm area, you'd want to do a 20-second video for all of the, let's say, 30 streets in your neighborhood, and then when somebody's searching for that neighborhood, you're going to be coming up high rankings for sure.
Yeah, you probably don't want to do 30 streets because that would be repetitive, and then Google would think it's spammy. But if you did like your top 5, top 10, you'd totally get away with it.
Streets, maybe? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Good feedback. Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So I'm going to be showing them step by step how to do that.
That's wonderful information. Okay, so Mr. Topuz, are you ready?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to change it over to Ado now, and
let me just select my proper screen here. And let me know where you guys can probably see my screen right now, can you?
Not yet.
Not yet. All right. Let me know.
I can.
Oh, you can? Okay, yeah. So maybe...
taking a split second. Well, you're recording, Simon, so let's wait for you to be able to see it.
There you go. I can see it now.
Awesome. Okay, so the main thing that I'm going to be going through is showing you guys what pay-per-click is really all about. And in this example, I'm just going to show you a quick peek at sort of one of our accounts that we have from January 1st, 2012 to July 10th. Just a few days ago, 2013, we've spent so far $500,000 with this campaign. So what I'm going to do with this specific campaign, along with some other stuff, is show you guys exactly how pay-per-click is done. And I'm going to sort of go into a little bit of detail here with you, just to give you some insight now. So in this individual campaign, as I said, we spent $496,000. We've received 463,000 clicks. Our average cost per click was $1.02. And we received a total of 38,000 leads for this individual campaign. That's an average cost per lead of about $12.88.
Now, just to clarify, this is not what you're recommending agents do, is spend $500,000, correct?
Absolutely not. No, this is a campaign across the board for a whole bunch of agents that we've dealt with in Canada. So this is definitely not something that you should be doing on your own. You know, having a sufficient budget, even of about $600 a month, I think will do. Because if we take a look at it this way, I mean, when we consider, if we say, I think my screen paused there for a second, but if we spend $600 And if your cost per lead is about $12.28, let's say, for $600 you can get 48 leads a month. That's sufficient a number of leads that you can sort of try to get as much as you can out of internet lead generation. At least you can figure out whether this is something you like or whether this is something you want to go with.
Now let's clarify for our viewers, what exactly do you mean by a lead? It's not just somebody clicking through to your site. It's somebody actually requesting information, correct?
That is correct. So let's take you through one of our squeeze pages just to give you a sort of sense of what a lead fills out or what a lead gets to. So this is our demo page. That's why it says agent locator on here. It wouldn't typically say that. So let's say we're looking for a home in Whitby, for example. And as soon as you type in Whitby, as soon as a client would type in Whitby, in this instance, it would show that there's 304 properties currently available in Whitby.
And you're getting this info directly from MLS?
That's correct, directly from TREB. So we are a third-party authorized developer for Toronto Real Estate Board, meaning that we have access to all the listings that are currently available on TREB.
Mm-hmm.
So now a client can go through, select that they're looking 400 to, let's say, 450K. They want a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom property, shows there's 32 of them. Click continue on the next step. It tells us what communities actually have properties for them inside that range and how many there are in each one of them. They can X out ones they don't want and select only ones they want. Click on continue. On the last step, we ask that they specify what type of property they want, and again, we specify how many of each type of property there is. They can uncheck the ones they don't want and go through answering question whether they're currently approved for a mortgage, when they're planning to buy, whether they currently rent or they own, and they enter their first name, last name, email address, and phone number. Once they click on Get Your Listings, that is considered a lead. So they've gone through a few steps to indicate what specifically they're looking for. So it's not just somebody that's maybe, passing through and getting any kind of information over to you. So it is.
Now I got to assume, obviously, a percentage of people, if you want to just go back a slide, a percentage of people are going to get to this screen and not want to give their information. So that won't count as a lead, which is beautiful because I'm not paying for something, a lead, where the guy doesn't give me the information. So I'm going to know exactly what neighborhood they want, the price range. I'm going to get first name, last name, email address, and phone. And then they click on Get Your Listings, and they get those 24. Then what happens?
So now the backend system that we have is actually quite extensive, and it's going to take me some time to sort of explain that backend system. But we have a nurturing system that's sort of put together that's going to nurture this lead for you as well. So first thing that will happen, though, is an automated email will go out to this individual and say, hey, John, thank you very much for requesting a listings in Whitby with that and that price range. I'm putting a list of properties together for you right away, and I'll have that email to you right off the bat. After that, about 2 minutes pass by, and their next automated system sort of kicks in play and sends off those listings to that individual.
So I don't have to go on TREB and search. It's automatically done.
Completely automated. So you have nothing, absolutely nothing you need to do. On top of that, we actually track everything that individual does for those listings. So when John receives those listings and looks at those listings, you're actually going to know everything that was looked at. I'd log into our backend, but I actually don't want to sort of have on video existing client data. While I will actually show you at the event, I'll log into an existing account that's a live account that's already being used by an agent that actually allows us to do this, not on video, but it does allow us to do it in presentations.
So far, and basically based on my budget, whether I have, let's say, $300 a month or $600, but if I had a $500 a month budget, roughly how many leads would I be expecting? And these seem to be pretty high quality leads.
Well, let's not bring internet leads and high quality into one play.
Okay.
Internet leads are never high quality leads. Internet leads are typically people who are at the very beginning stages of their search, and are not going to close off right off the bat. That's the biggest issue. That's the biggest misconception you might have about internet leads. They're not. No internet lead is a quality lead other than if it was referred off to you. I think that it really depends on what people consider a quality lead. If you're an agent and you've got a referral from somebody, I believe that's a quality lead. That's somebody who there's trust already established because they know who they're going through. Where internet leads are a little bit different. So now,
but here's my assumption, though, Adam.
Sure.
My assumption is, if you're going to give me, let's say, 40 leads a month to work with, if I can get 1 out of 10 in the next 90 days, then that's 4 more deals in the next 90 days. That's $40,000.
Right.
That's a good return for me. So
your conversion ratio, if you're looking to convert 1 out of every 10 leads that you get, I think you're way off. I don't think the conversion rate is going to be that high. The biggest conversion rate, and it really depends per area. I'll explain this a little bit. When we look at anything in the outskirts of the city, so you're looking at outside of Toronto, outside of Mississauga, outside of big cities, conversion ratios tend to be a little bit higher. What I mean by higher is they might go up 6%, let's say max.
Okay.
Meaning that out of all the leads, you might be able to convert 6% of them on the outskirts.
That's still fantastic.
Once you get into the city, however, it is a little bit different. So let's say in the very first year, once you get onto internet lead generation, if you can close up to 2% of all the leads that you get in, you're doing a fairly decent job.
Okay, so let's do some numbers. So if my budget is $500 a month,
yep,
and that's going to generate around, let's say, 40 leads a month, is that right?
Let's just double check that. Well, it depends per area as well. So I'm not going to say, it's hard to say that every single area is $12.50 per lead.
Let's say 25.
Sure, let's say $25.
Let's say 25. So so now we're talking 25 times 12. I should get around 300 leads, right, for the year.
Okay.
So if I'm getting 300 leads and I'm converting just 2%, which is the low end, that's 6 transactions.
That's correct.
And if I'm in the city, the price point is higher.
Yep.
So we're talking about $100,000.
Absolutely. So I mean, as far as when it comes to what you're going to be making out of this individual campaign, it is by far not imaginable as far as what you're spending and what you're getting back, as long as you have the ability to convert these leads properly. And I think you guys have a fairly decent plan on how to convert these internet leads and how to work with them properly. So I think it's very lucrative. You can make a lot of money, and then again, you can also spend a lot of money without being able to make a lot of money back if you're sort of approaching this internet lead generation wrong.
Well, what I like about what you guys are doing so far, Addo, is that it's all done in the back end. So,
yes.
I start to talk to people about, following up on 600 leads. Well, you're not, because the system is generating a plan where you're trickling on them with email marketing, correct?
Absolutely. So what I'm going to do really essentially, what my plan with this event, Simon, is I want to come in and give you guys a no-nonsense lead gen plan. And not only a plan, but show you exactly what agents that we've been working with have been doing and how well it's been working out for them. It's not my intention to come and make the system look like it's the best thing in the world, because you're going to get agents on board and they're not going to be able to convert if you sort of set their expectations so high. You've got to set their proper expectations. You're going to give them all the information so they can know exactly what it is that they're getting into. And if they do know that, I think there's a much likelier chance that they're going to succeed with this than not.
Oh, fair enough. But it's a perfect segue into what I'm talking about, because a big part of this is once you actually get to sit down face-to-face with somebody, now your job is to provide proper service and convert them to first an appointment and then into actually finding a property. So if you can take part of generating the leads, and the system sort of nurtures those, really all I'm looking for is those 6 to 10 to 20 that want to work with me, and I don't care about the 600 others that don't.
Exactly.
Because it's not wasting a lot of my time and energy. Now, obviously, we recommend if you're getting 30 leads or 25 leads a month, well, you can make a call a day just to touch base. Hey, I noticed you were on my website. Thanks very much. If you have any questions, I'm only a phone call away. And now they're getting drip emails. And, of course, most of them are not going to call you back. But if we're following up and we're engaging people, and I think we can put our heads together with Danny and figure out a strategy to supplement this on Facebook and integrate them. Hey, found you on Facebook. You can also find me on Facebook, and you can find me by email, smoke signals. You can have fun with this stuff, I think, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And with the system we've put together, I think we could also figure out a way that I think we got some echo here. Are you guys hearing that?
Yeah, a little bit of an echo. There's always tech issues. With that said, let me switch over. Are you still there with us, Addo?
I am. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, much better.
Awesome.
Okay.
I've turned off my mic. I think it was my mic that was actually causing those echo issues.
Okay. So now let me just share, because we don't want to keep people on the webinar too long. I'm just going to switch over now, guys, and I'm going to share with our listeners a little tidbit about some of the stuff we're talking about when it relates to buyer presentation. And here's, at the end of the day, what we're looking for. What we're looking for is the AAA buyer, and it takes time. You got to weed through. Even somebody's referred to you, they're not necessarily a AAA buyer. So we're looking for the AAA buyer that's willing to talk, that's cooperative, and first job is, once you get them on the phone, is to qualify them. There's brownie points for anybody that recognizes who this guy is, but we're not going to get into that. And qualify for urgency, building trust, and confirming a date and time. Now, we put together a system that we're going to share with everybody at the tech conference, and first step is a system for properly qualifying and interviewing somebody over the phone before you meet them, and all of the questions that you need to ask. Again, this is a half-hour conversation, but we're going to show you step-by-step everything in the interview package, how you create a system with filing and, going through numbers with clients. And we've created a different type of BRA document that, by the way, was reviewed by Rico, and Rico said no problem with this. You can use this. What we found with this is that it's a plain language version of the BRA, which is a lot less scary than a 4-page fine print that you have to explain. And using the system we're going to share with you with the prospect drip and the proper follow-up sequences, we're signing up 95% of buyers to our BRA at the meeting. But there's a process. There's a process meaning, you've qualified the buyer on the phone. You've got an appointment. Well, what do you do now? Well, we've set up a process where you courier the pre-appointment package. We're going to show you the exact package that we send out. You confirm the appointment. You customize the presentation. You get there early. Now, one of the first things we do is we show up to the appointment early and we review all of the notes we have on the client so that, we don't ask the same question twice. We don't want to look like we don't know what we're doing. And when we sit down with them, they've already got a sense that, hey, this person is a professional. And, why do we use an iPad? Could we use paper and pencil just as easily? I think we could. But the fact that you're using an iPad just changes the dynamics of the meeting. And, all of our clients are using the new technology. If we're not using the new technology just as they are, we're going to look like dinosaurs. So we've set it up so that you can go paperless with this stuff. Everything lives on your iPad. We're not going to go into detail about, which apps you're going to use, but you could use Cartavi, you could use Adobe Reader, you could convert to PDF. There's a lot of different ways to do that. We're also going to show you the exact, we call it the Home Buyer Survival Guide, and it's a 50-page document that you can customize with the contact info for the client on the front page. You can customize it with your own company logo and so on. And this is the package that you actually courier, hard copy package you courier to a client in advance of the meeting. Now, a lot of people ask, well, why would I bother couriering it? Why don't I just email that? Isn't that techie? Well, just think about it. Have you guys ever received a courier package but from FedEx or Purolator? And ask yourself this, regardless of what was inside, didn't you just stop whatever you were doing and open that package?
Yeah.
Right? So technology has a place, but we're still living in the real world, and if we can get tangible, then that makes a difference as well. So we've got our pre-appointment checklist that we use to interview. We got the pre-appointment package that we send out by courier. And then when we see them face-to-face, now we use a PowerPoint file that you can convert to PDF, you can convert to Keynote, you can do whatever format you want. But the point is, it's a series of slides and information that walk people through, walk the buyers through, step by step, a whole bunch of information designed, A, to cover the process, B, to make you look like a star. And I got to tell you, it's so easy to use because if all you do is follow the various slides step by step and explain each one, and we're going to walk you through a role play of exactly what we do at that interview to sign people up to buyer agency 95% of the time before we start showing them properties face-to-face. And this is a powerful thing. And this is one that, eliminates the competition. Because I mean, you guys know what it's like out there. There are a lot of agents out there showing property, and then, all of a sudden the buyer doesn't call them back because they haven't done a BRA yet. They walk into an open house without them by accident. They may even be looking in a different area than we've been showing them properties. And, in the absence of a BRA, this is what's going to happen unless we do this to protect ourselves. And it's a way not just to protect ourselves, but to demonstrate that we're experts at our craft and we know what we're talking about. So we're going to wrap soon. And in closing, I want to tell you this. We're doing the Real Estate Tech Conference for one thing. We want to close the doors, turn off the phones, and talk about exactly what's going on in this business and what you need to do to thrive. And using everything possible, using tech, using hard copy stuff, using the technology of proper interview skills, and we're going to have a blast. I'll tell you why. We're going to be at the Donalda Golf and Country Club, which is right around the corner from the Toronto Real Estate Board. It's just off York Mills and Don Mills. It's a beautiful setting. We've reserved the main room just for us. We're going to be there from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and we're serving a barbecued lunch with unbelievable food. We're talking steak, salmon, you name it. People are shocked when they see the food. So I would show up just for the food. But aside from that, here's the agenda. I'm going to be there myself, so is Ado Topuz, so is Dan Wood, and we're going to walk you through Module 1 in the morning. After you'll come in, there's plenty of parking. You'll get your cup of coffee, you'll get a seat, and we're going to sit down and have an open and frank discussion about the state of the real estate industry. Things are really changing. There's a lot of competition. We have companies like Comfree and Zoocasa changing the landscape. We're going to talk about all of that and really understand what's going on. Then we're going to take a little bit of a break because I know you guys can't sit for more than 90 minutes, so we take a little coffee break, pee break, whatever, and Addo's going to take the mic, and Addo's going to walk us through step by step in a lot more detail exactly what we talked about today with no-nonsense lead gen. And then we're going to break for lunch, and we'll have a fantastic lunch, about an hour. Then we're going to go paperless with client presentations, and I'm going to walk you through the exact client presentation example that we showed you from beginning to end with a role play, and you'll actually get to practice it with a partner at the table if you like. And then Dan's going to fly in. I think you're coming in from Hawaii, right, buddy?
I am going to be coming in halfway through the day, yes.
Yeah, because you've got another seminar that day, but Dan's going to be flying in that way, and he's going to talk to us about, a lot more detail, some of the stuff you saw and some of the stuff that you don't even know that you don't even know, and really the tech you need in 2013. And, if you're one of our mastermind members, you can attend at no cost. If you're new to the mastermind, previously we've done full-day conferences, and the cost is normally $1,000 for any of our full-day conferences. But we really want to get this information out, so we've decided to make it stupid, simple, easy for people to attend. So you get to be locked in a room. Forget what I'm going to teach you. Just the stuff that Addo is going to share with us, and Dan is worth tens of thousands of dollars, just the information alone. But we made it stupid simple, and if you want to attend, the cost for the full day is $198. And if you see value in understanding tech, then you'll want to register. If you have a challenge with $198, then you really need to register. And I don't know if you have to beg, borrow, or steal. You need to attend this conference. And that's it for the day. We're gonna wrap. And if you feel that this is something you want to attend, just circle back with me or Addo or Dan, whoever sent you this information. Reply with an email or a phone call, and we'll, as long as there are seats available, we'll let you know right away. But I wouldn't take a lot of time to think about it. If you're coming, send us an email, call us right away. And guys, thanks to you guys for being on the call today.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
And we'll see you on Thursday, July 18th. Have a great day, everyone, and go sell something.
Awesome. Thanks,
Bye.
guys.